righty. Good evening, y'all. We are here tonight, me and Judge R, to read out proclamation for Asian American and Pacific Islanders. Whereas Asian American and Pacific Islanders AAPI Heritage in the United States was celebrated beginning in 1978 and was made into a month-long event in 1992. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders Heritage Month seeks to honor and recognize the contributions of the U.S. residents and community originating from Asia and the native and indigenous people from Pacific Islands, and whereas today more than 20 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders live in the United States and through their actions make the United States of America more vibrant, diverse, prosperous, welcoming, inclusive, and peaceful nation. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have made a lasting contribution to our nation's economy, prosperity, technology advancement, social and political changes through their resourceful and creative, willing to navigate significant cultures and systematic barriers.
And whereas the rich history and heritage of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders is thousands of years old and is integral in the shaping of the history of our country. Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders communities are deeply rooted in the history of the United States. We celebrate the 2024 theme, Advancing Leaders Through Innovation, which pays homage to the visionaries and trailblazers who have shaped AAPI history and continue to influence and collectively in the collective future. Innovation, resilience, and pioneering spirits are cornerstones of American leadership. Now, therefore, we, James R. Knight Jr., Mayor of the City of Hopkinsville, and Jerry Gillum, Judge Executive of Christian County, along with the Human Rights Commission, do hereby proclaim May as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in all of Hopkinsville and Christian County, and we encourage all residents to join in paying tribute to the generations of Asian and Pacific Islanders who have enriched Americans' history and are instrumental in the future success. This signed and sealed the 7th day of May 2024. So ladies, y'all want to come accept this?
Thank y'all so very much. Okay. Okay. I'll bring it up in just. Thank you everyone for being here. I call this meeting May 7th to order. And for invocation, I call Ward Will McInerney.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to open up with one of my favorite quotes by Malcolm X. It says, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." As you know, this is Teacher Appreciation Week, so I wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude to my fellow educators here in Hopkinsville and across the Commonwealth who work tirelessly to make a difference in the lives of their students. And though often faced with criticism from various sources and platforms, they continue to show up and be present in the lives of their students and constantly improving their teaching methods to meet the diverse needs of each student. They are resilient and continuously seek ways to enhance their skills and knowledge. Let us continue to support and uplift our teachers, recognizing the profound impact they have on shaping the future generation.
All right. I'd like to stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you, Matthew. Call on clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Francis,
Here.
Councilmember Smiley,
Here.
Councilmember Marsh,
Here.
Councilmember Crabtree,
Here.
Councilmember Craig,
Here.
Councilmember Martin,
Here.
Councilmember Wilcox, Councilmember Meek,
Here.
Councilmember Limburger, Councilmember Keel,
Here.
Councilmember Bell,
Here.
Councilmember Handy.
Present.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Awards and recognitions, we don't have any on the list tonight for that. I will move into item 6 on public comments. If anybody in the audience would like to come and speak at the podium, please come and state your name and address. All righty, seeing none of them, thank you. We'll move into mayor's comments. We had a good last couple of weeks. We was at the Head Start Community Days Week and had a proclamation there for the Week of the Young Child. We had a good breakfast the other morning with President Ryan Quarles, me and Jerry and a couple of them, and Travis was there with us. We're at the community college on that. And thank you to the HRC for the Focus Now plan that we done here. Me and Troy and Councilman Hamby had a good morning with the young folks, and we had a good time with that. We had Firehouse 5 bid openings come in, so it all looks good. We will be bringing it to all y'all on committee of the whole this week, letting you know what's going on there, but it is opened, and we have things moving forward. Shout out to the Kiwanis Club and Toby and them. They had a good golf scrambles, and everybody enjoyed that. The HR department beat the fire department, I believe is how that went down on that. I'd like to say thank you to the Rotary Auction for their huge success for everything they did. They had a great time. We all enjoyed ourselves down at the Rotary. And thank you to the community for all your support for that Rotary Auction. I want to keep all the graduation and graduates in your prayers, because it's going to be the next couple busy weeks. If we can all keep them in our prayers and hopefully have a safe graduation. Al Hamber having a picnic with the Pops this Saturday with Margaret Prim up here on 6th Street. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, please call Margaret and let's get them and have a little fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves. And also, I'd like to sound off Matthews there. Remember the teacher. The teachers are our backbone. They take care of our children, and they demand and deserve our respect every day. For they take our young ones into their lives more than usually we get to see them. So thank you all. All righty. And we'll move into item 8, officers and committees. We will talk to Miss Melissa Clayton for the police and firemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
KRS 95.623 requires that we report to you guys each year on the Police and Fireman Pension Fund. So it's my pleasure tonight to bring you the report for, this is calendar year ending December 31st, 2023. So the fund balance on January 1st was $1,038,525. We had dividends, interest, and gains of $48,912. We make an annual contribution that usually covers all the expenses and all the costs for the year. That contribution during 23 was $235,000. It was made last February. And then we had disbursements and fees of $207,877, leaving us an ending balance of $1,114,560. So right now, we are running in this year's budget, 23-24, we have budgeted $220,000 for our contributions. So our contributions are going down. Eventually, we hope that they're going to go away someday when we get the pension fund fully funded. Our annual disbursements are to retirees and benefits running $189,280, and then we have expenses and fees of $18,589. We do an actuary every year, and then some of those fees pays Planners Bank because they manage the fund for us. They write the checks to the beneficiaries and all of that, so we don't do that in-house. It's done by Planners Bank. So that's kind of my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys might have about the pension fund.
Any questions? Chuck?
How many people are still on this plan? This is the older plan, correct?
Yes, this is the old plan before we joined Kentucky Retirement. We have 11. I think there are 6 beneficiaries, widows, and 5 retirees left.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Miss Melissa. Appreciate that. All righty. Item 9, approval of minutes.
So moved.
Amy and Travis, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that moving right along. Ordinances. Ordinance 11-2024, Pyle Lane and Canton Pike zoning, second reading.
Amending the zoning maps of the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, zone property located at 4285 Canton Pike. Whereas Community and Development Services initiated a zoning map amendment by Resolution 2023-09 to assign the original zoning designation of B2 General Business District to property located at 4285 Canton Pike. And whereas Community and Development Services made a favorable recommendation at their March 25th, 2024 meeting for City Council to approve original zoning application R24-1-1. And whereas City Council concurs, said recommendation is in agreement with the Hopkinsville Christian County Comprehensive Plan, and significant physical, social, and economic changes have occurred warranting the zoning of the property. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, pursuant to KRS 100.211, Hopkinsville Code of Ordinances, Community and Development Services Resolution 2023-09, and recommendation dated March 25th, 2024, property located at 4285 Canton Pike on the southeastern corner of the intersection of Pyle Lane and Canton Pike, as further described on Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein, is hereby zoned B2 General Business District. Section 2, if any section, subsection, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such infirmity shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 3, all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect after its passage and publication according to law.
Right. Need a motion and a second? All right. Steve and Terry. All righty. Any discussion? Call on clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Craig,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Meek,
Yes.
Councilmember Keel,
Yes.
Councilmember Bell,
Yes.
Councilmember Handy,
Yes.
Councilmember Francis,
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh,
Yes.
Councilmember Crabtree.
Yes.
That passes on second reading.
All righty. Ordinance 12-2024, Singletree Subdivision and Canton Pike zoning, second reading.
Amending the zoning maps of the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, properties located at Singletree and Wainwright Drive, Doubletree Court, and Canton Pike. Whereas Community and Development Services initiated a zoning map amendment by Resolution 2024-01 to assign the original zoning designation of R2 Single Family Residential District to properties including rights of ways and easements located at Singletree and Wainwright Drive, Doubletree Court, and Canton Pike. And whereas Community and Development Services made favorable recommendation at their March 25th, 2024 meeting for City Council to approve original zoning application R24-3-1. And whereas City Council concurs that a recommendation is in agreement with the Hopkinsville Christian County Comprehensive Plan and significant physical, social, and economic changes have occurred warranting the zoning of the properties. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky as follows. Section 1. Pursuant to KRS 100.211, Hopkinsville Code of Ordinances, Community and Development Services Resolution 2024-01, and recommendation dated March 25th, 2024, the properties listed on Exhibit A, attached hereto and incorporated herein, and as further described on Exhibit B, attached hereto and incorporated herein, are hereby zoned R2 Single Family Residential District. Section 2, if any section, subsection, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such infirmity shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 3, all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect after its passage and publication according to law.
All right, I need a motion and a second. Got Terry, and seconded by Steve. All righty, any discussion on this? Any no discussion? Call on the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Craig,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Meek,
Yes.
Councilmember Keel,
Yes.
Councilmember Bell,
Yes.
Councilmember Handy,
Yes.
Councilmember Francis,
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh,
Yes.
Councilmember Crabtree.
Yes.
And that passes on second reading.
All righty, we'll move into item 11, municipal order 10-2024, surplus properties.
Whereas the attached listed property was purchased for use by the Hopkinsville Police Department, and whereas said items are in need of repair exceeding current value and/or of no value to the city in delivering public services. Now therefore be it ordered, Hopkinsville City Council hereby declares the items on the attached list surplus property and authorizes the mayor to dispose of said items by methods available in KRS 82.083.
I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
I've
Second.
got Don and that, well, Amy and then Don. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye,
Aye.
and likewise say nay. All righty, that moves right along. Municipal Order 11-2024, electrical inspector contractor.
Municipal Order 38-2023 is hereby amended as follows. Pursuant to KRS 198B.06011, Hopkinsville City Council hereby authorizes the mayor to execute the attached contract with the following electrical inspectors who have been authorized to perform electrical inspections pursuant to KRS 227.489 and Chapter 150.11A1 of the Hopkinsville Code of Ordinances. Roger Gwynn, Donald Henry, Gregory Hopgood, Lewis Hopper, John T. Jenkins, Terrell Snodgrass, Damian Young. Further, Hopkinsville City Council designates the attached contract as the form to be used for electrical inspector appointments made by City Council pursuant to Chapter 150.11A1 of the Hopkinsville Code of Ordinances.
All righty, we need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Bruce?
Second.
Amy? All righty, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty, moving on to Municipal Order 12-2024, radio system interlocal corporation agreement.
Hopkinsville City Council hereby authorizes the mayor to sign the attached interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Christian, Kentucky, the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and the City of Oak Grove, Kentucky for the expansion of the current Kenwood Next Edge trunked radio system.
So moved. Second.
I've got Steve, got Travis. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty. Municipal Order 13-2024, radio tire sublease agreement.
Municipal order of the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, approving a sublease between the County of Christian, Kentucky, a subleaser, and the city as subleasee, and authorizing the execution of various documents related to such sublease. Whereas the County of Christian, Kentucky, and the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky have the power pursuant to Section 65.90 et sec of the Kentucky Revised Statutes to enter into lease agreements with or without the option to purchase in order to provide for the use of property for public purposes. And whereas the county and the city have determined that financing the acquisition, construction, installation, and equipping of radio systems upgrades for the benefit of the county and the city furthers a necessary public purpose. And whereas the county and the city have determined that it is the best interest of the county and the city that the county and the Kentucky Association of Counties Finance Corporation enter into a lease agreement in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $2,500,000 for the financing of the project. And whereas the willingness of the county to enter into the lease is made subject to the conditions that all or portion of the debt service of the lease shall be payable solely from the amounts received by the county pursuant to the sublease hereinafter referred to. And whereas the city has determined and does hereby confirm that in order to provide for the financing of the project as foresaid, it is further necessary that the county and the city enter into a sublease agreement with rental payments to be paid to the city in an amount sufficient to enable the county to make lease payments when due under the lease. Now therefore be it ordered by the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, recitals and authorization. The city hereby approves the lease and the sublease, each in substantially the forms presented to the city. The recitals of this municipal order are incorporated herein as if set forth in this section in their entirety and are hereby found and determined to be true and correct. It is further found and determined that the project identified in the lease and the sublease is public property to be used for public purposes and that it is necessary and desirable and in the best interest of the city to enter into the sublease for the purposes therein specified. And execution and delivery of the sublease and all representations, certifications, and other matters contained in the closing memorandum with respect to the sublease, or as may be required of the city by the subleaser or the county prior to delivery of the lease and the sublease, are hereby approved, ratified, and confirmed. The mayor and city clerk of the city are hereby authorized to execute the sublease together in such other agreements or certifications which may be necessary to accomplish the transactions contemplated by the lease and the sublease. Section 2, severability. If any section, paragraph, or provision of this municipal order shall be held to be invalid or unenforceable for any reason, the validity of the unforeseen ability of such section, paragraph, or provision shall not affect any of the remaining provisions of this municipal order. Section 3, open meeting laws. The city hereby finds and determines that all formal actions relative to the adoption of this municipal order were taken at an open meeting of the city, and that all deliberations of the city and its committees, if any, which resulted in formal action were in meetings open to the public in full compliance with the applicable legal requirements. Section 4, conflicts. All resolutions, orders, or parts thereof in conflict with the provisions of this municipal order are to the extent of such conflict hereby repealed, and the provisions of this municipal order shall prevail in the given effect. Section 5, effective date. The principal order shall take effect from after its passage as provided by law.
Right. I need a motion and a
So
second.
moved.
Steve, Don?
No, it's Bruce.
Bruce, I'm sorry. Fix the hearing aids, JR. All right, any discussion?
I will ask a question. What is
Okay.
we're just financing, we're not entering,
Right.
discussing the sublease or the lease agreement. What is there a term? What is the term for this lease agreement? The $2,500,000 will be encumbered for
20
what amount of
years.
time?
25. Jerry just said 20.
Okay, it's 25 is kind of standard, I think, with Tower.
No, how many years is the contract? Okay,
7 to 10,
Or 10.
7 or 10.
7 or 10.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion? All righty. Not seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty, that passes. Get your breath. Executive order, 07-2024 Hopkinsville Christian County Ambulance Board.
Effective immediately, Executive Order 57-2023, reappointing City Administrator Troy Body as the mayor's designee to the Hopkinsville Christian County Ambulance Service Board is hereby rescinded. And there's no action necessary on this one.
All righty. I will be sitting in on that board for that. Executive Order 08-2024 Code of Ordinance and Enforcement Board.
Effective immediately, Tyler Young shall be appointed to the Code of Ordinance Enforcement Board to fill the unexpired term of John Schmidt. This term shall expire February 28th, 2027. And we do need a motion and a second.
I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Amy and Travis. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty. Item 13, other.
I got actually two things. An update on
Pardue Park. We haven't heard about that park in a while. Do we
Uh,
have anything?
Mike Perry's been working on that. I asked Mike to come to the front to talk about it. We're moving forward. We're waiting on some things.
Well, we had a little unfortunate circumstance on the grant. Our grant representative passed away in March, and we actually, Stacy Cook got all of the paperwork and the finalized plans and drawings from the engineer in February, I think like February 17th. It was under review. She passed away. So now it's in hands of, they're trying to figure out, I think it's got 2 other people looking at it now. I know Stacy's been emailing back and forth each week, trying to make sure. I've been asking Stacy every week, just kind of stay on top of it, with make sure we get it going. But it's really in the hands of the state right now. Until we actually get a notice to proceed, we can't even break ground or even bid it out. So.
I know we had a private organization here in town make a large donation for the naming rights.
Right.
Can we at least get a sign out there?
That's something I think we probably can do. I'll discuss
That's a
that
good idea.
internally.
Be a problem
I know
on
we've
that.
had that money sitting in our account drawing interest for a long time,
Right.
and I think if they would have known it's going to be this long, they would have
Right.
held on to it a little bit longer.
Right.
So just something.
Oh, well, it's a legitimate question. You know, it's their money. They put it up. They did.
Right.
You know. Any other questions for Mike on the park? Okay, thank you, Mike. Any?
And then
Yes,
Number
Travis.
2, I'd like to ask the clerk to read a municipal order that was prepared for us tonight as well.
Hopkinsville City Council hereby designates and authorizes up to $250,000 of economic development funds be used as a contribution to the Hopkinsville Industrial Foundation for the construction of a road in South Park.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
I got Steve, I got Travis, and I got Terry. So however y'all want to run it around. Okay,
Draw them out of a hat.
all right. Any discussion on this?
Who, what, when, where, how, why?
Okay.
Yeah.
What it is a road there between Altria and Toyota Pachuco. It is an access of roughly, I want to say about 250, 300 feet, right, going into that, between them 2 buildings. There is, why we're doing it like we are, we're trying to move this forward so everyone can see it. I didn't want nobody to say we done it behind, not in front of anybody. We want everybody to know that we have to do this. It needs to be done. Let me put it that way. For good relationships between Toyota and Altria on this. We had discussions about the road year and a half ago, and then they come back and said we didn't need the road. And now it's come back up over some other situations. And now we're down to, the county is going to split it with us at $250,000. And we're going to pay $250,000 on that.
So you mentioned the other situations came up.
Mm-hmm.
What are the other situations? I mean, we're asking for $500,000 and we'd already agreed to do what we've agreed to.
Right.
And so I'm trying to get an understanding.
Okay. Well, where that come from on this is we have issue with the attorney on looking at, what's the proper word I'm looking for, on the title search. There it is. Thank you. We have a title search, did not go properly. And we are right now trying to save face with Toyota and Altria because the title search didn't go properly. And without putting Altria, taking us to court because they didn't get their first option to buy.
Doug, I'd like to make a motion. We go into closed session for possible litigation.
Second.
Mhm. Thank you. We have a motion and a second going to close. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty, we will go in.
Is that the only KRS we need to mention before we go into closed session?
For the record, you have the side on the KRS for potential litigation.
Yes.
Okay, good enough.
All right.
All right. is that?
All righty, thank you for coming back in. There was no motion taken in closed session.
No action.
I will go back to under Travis's, motion that brought up.
Microphone. There you go.
Microphone. How about that? Okay. Keep turning them off. All right, we go back to Travis's motion that was read by Ms. Brittany a while ago. We have a motion and a second on the floor to bring it to vote. All those in favor? Or do we need to do a roll call? Let's do a roll call.
Councilmember Craig,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Meek,
Yes.
Councilmember Keel,
Yes.
Councilmember Bell,
Yes.
Councilmember Handy,
Abstain.
Councilmember Francis,
Abstain.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh,
Yes.
Councilmember Crabtree.
No.
So Doug, with the abstentions, it passes.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Okay.
it does pass.
All righty. That passes on that. All righty, we will move now. Any under other business? Okay, move into councilman comments. Any councilman got comments tonight?
Well, that was kind of a heavy subject, but as far as Ward 3 is concerned, I'd like to just give a shout out to the Hopkinsville Soapbox Derby people. They put on a really
They had a
nice event
great
over the
time.
weekend, did a really great job, and thankful to Councilman Keel and Councilman Martin coming out and supporting the group and doing a good job. Hats off to, kudos to Councilman Martin for beating the rest of us out there. So
I'm disagreeing with that. He only went
I heard there was a little
down the fast
controversy on
lane.
Saturday morning. I
It
heard there
takes
was
2
controversy.
runs to win, and he only did one.
Winner take all. We announced it before the race started.
No.
It was disclosed. Winner
Sounds
takes
like
all.
we have a sore loser.
Have you ever met me?
So, but at any rate, it's really a great organization, and just shout out to them for doing a great job.
All righty. Looked like y'all had a lot of fun with the pictures I seen.
Yeah,
And
we did.
people I talked to on Saturday morning, they said y'all had a lot of fun with that. Any more councilman comments?
Yep, I have one.
Yes, sir.
I know Mike Perry's not here, but man, he did a great job trying to mitigate the issues in Jockey Run with the cable company going in and messing up everybody's yards and causing damage and destruction in yards. So he pulled together a meeting and everything. So hopefully we get all that issue taken care of, but he jumped all over it. So appreciate it.
Well, Mike and his team and Troy's been very diligent on everything going on. And I believe they've had more communication with Spectrum and them than they've had in 2 or 3 years going on here with that. But
It's a mess.
we appreciate that. Any other comments from
I
council?
have one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to thank the public for everyone's patience with the new 4-way stop in my ward. That has been overall, it's been going smoothly. I think change is hard for everybody when you've got a big change like that, but overall, the positive comments have been great. And I think that it is making that intersection safer. So everyone just be mindful. That's a new 4-way stop at Canton and Pyle Lane. And I appreciate everyone's patience with that new intersection.
Councilmember, have they stopped cutting through the supermarket parking lot?
I think so.
Good.
I have not seen anyone cut through the supermarket parking lot. So I think that's a win. I really do think ultimately it's going to be better and we're starting to get used to it. But I think the new signage with we got a flashing sign. There's another sign that says new traffic pattern ahead and another sign that says stop ahead. I think we're getting there. So it's a good thing.
Well, we're going to keep pushing forward on that intersection because I still feel like it's a dangerous intersection.
It is.
And we are not letting up on the state on that situation.
Thank
you. Okay. All righty. Move into number 15. We'll go talk to Mr. Hanby there again. Talk to me, Councilman.
In closing and sticking with my theme for tonight, education and the power that it holds, graduation season is upon us for both our public and private schools, and I would like to congratulate the 2024 graduates in Christian County and the city of Hopkinsville. As you step into the world, remember that you have the power to make a difference. Embrace the challenges, seize the opportunities, and continue to strive for excellence. And with that, I make a motion to adjourn.
Got a second by Travis. We are adjourned. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned.